You are listening to the Brain Profits Podcast. We bring awareness to the reality that, in large, people allow their brains to control them, which is causing difficulty at school, at work, and in life.
Success in life and business starts in the brain. Therefore, we want to explore the challenges that exist for people and organizations so that they are in control of their brains and not the other way around.
Listen in, be inspired, and take back control of your brain, and you'll create optimal results in your life, organization, and community.
Ready to start the show? We are, so let's go. Welcome back to the Brain Profits. Philippe, what it do, man? How's it going?
I mean, it's going really good for me. I had an awesome day today. You know, it's
Really?
like one of those days where you're just kind of like, man, life is real good. Like, you know, I try to live a real grateful lifestyle, but today was a pretty good day. You know, like woke up, got a workout in, did my affirmations.
You still going to Bally's Total Fitness? Because I told you to level up.
Nope. Did a home workout. Saw a few patients, and then we've got the U.S. Open Tennis Championships that are about to start here in New York. So I was down there watching players practice and watching people qualify, you know, and just came back home, man. It was just a really nice day. And this is my second actually podcast of the day. I was a guest on another podcast that went really well. So yeah.
Yeah, man, that sounds actually pretty dope.
Yeah, pretty dope.
Yeah, I did. My day was fairly kind of tumultuous, busy-ish. You know, I got the family life stuff going on right now. But I did get to do something fun with the United Way. They're honoring a guy. Actually, they're honoring one of our previous guests, Dr. Jerry Askew.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's being honored by the United Way. And so I was asked to do a little bit of a video thing for him, like an honor for him. And so I gave my 2 seconds about who I thought he was, you know, what one word defines him, and then give him a little bit of a joke. So I gave him a little bit of a ribbing in there. Hopefully they use it in the actual cut. So that's going to be cool to see when it shows up.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So today, people, we actually have an interesting guest, very different type of guest than we've had on before. We're going to bring on Shani.
Yes.
What is your last name? Hamilton?
Yes, it's Hamilton.
I know. I just want to make sure because I didn't have it right in front of me, and then I didn't want to be like a fake name because you know how people are. Like Philippe's last name is not Duyon. He just does that just for the ladies.
Really?
Right, because Duyon is such a lady's name. You know, like it just attracts all the women. That's right.
Come on, it's so fancy.
It's French. It's a fancy French name.
Listen,
that's what I was saying.
Well, listen, our guest today. I mean, I had to dress up for our guest today.
Yeah.
Because of the work that she is in. You
know? No.
I needed to be a little bit more elegant, a little bit more graceful, a little bit more black. So this is what you get. This is as good as it's gonna get tonight.
Look, it's great. Honestly speaking, you're saying all these things, but if you all would have given me permission, I still would have been in my work from home clothes.
Oh no, that'd have been well.
Doug is in his work from home clothes.
No, that's not true. I'm in my work from work clothes. This is considered business casual, I think, with the polo.
Yeah.
But no, welcome to the show, Shani Hamilton, owner of Grace in Black. Tell the people a little bit about Grace in Black, what it's about, and then we'll jump into like what our show really is about.
Yes. No, thank you for having me on the show. I'm so excited. But yeah, Grace in Black. So it is a women's online boutique. We cater in polished clothes, like a polished look, a stylish yet polished look. So I'm a career-driven woman at the end of the day, right? But a lot of the fashion that I've noticed for women is very trendy, but it doesn't fit into corporate a lot of times, church a lot of times. So my whole thing with starting this boutique was it can take you from being a boss to being that socialite. So I'm big on clothes being an investment. So I'm like, you spend your money, right? You want to get a lot of wear out of it. You don't want to feel like, okay, this is good for just this event. So I like to dress I like to buy universal clothes that are timeless, that are going to where I get the bang for my buck, where it can transition from season to season. I hope this is not going over any of you all's heads because I know you're guys.
No, we understand.
But this is how women think. And this is how I thought before I started this business. I was like, man, going into stores, I was like, I'm not finding exactly what I want. Not finding what I want. I'm not going to say I'm an extremely tall girl. I feel like I'm average. So I have to be mindful of the length of different skirts and dresses, especially since I like to wear heels. So all of that played a mix in the whole birth of Grace in Black. And then the simple fact that fashion has always been a part of me. I think that came from childhood, seeing my grandma and my mom dress up. And the fact that I'm just an all-around creative person. I know I've shared this conversation with you before, Doug. I know you know that I have a love for music. And often with music, I would try to visualize my highest self. And that came in the form of like, what would I look like in the fashion world? Like, what would I look like? Teenage Shani, what would I look like in a music video or on the stage? So I feel like it was a mesh of taking what I like with music and fashion and blending it all. But yeah, that's how Grace in Black really came about.
So I like that. I like how you use the word trendy to mask how you probably really feel about what the style that was out there.
Go everywhere with neon clothes and cutouts. Like I just can't. At the end of the day, I'm not an Instagram model, so I can't dress like an Instagram model all the time. My clothes have to move with me in whatever industry or whatever field I'm in. So
No, I like that.
Yeah, look, I took a look at your website in preparation for this, and I had two thoughts. I was like, first of all, why isn't she also doing men's clothes, right? Then I was like, two, like the clothes was just so elegant, so classy, so beautiful, right? And it's like in today's world, a lot of women dress in ways that are not elegant and classy. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying not to be like slutty, but a lot of women, like everything is out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just thought, yeah, what you put out there is amazing. It's beautiful. It's like, I'm like, oh, that's a woman who's wearing that. That's the type of woman I could take to a gala, right? Or take to some event.
Yeah, no. And
yes.
Philippe is a gala dude. He gets to go to
Okay, I mean, listen, sometimes the time calls for going to a gala. Yeah, I invited you and your wife to one.
That's right.
And y'all didn't show up.
No, there's
for one of my organizations that did not show up for one of my organizations that I am on the board of.
It was a reasonable excuse. What had happened was, so she got pregnant, and then that messes with the travel schedule sometimes, and like how she's feeling, and so it just threw a loop through things. So that's kind of how it kind of changed the plans. But okay, but next year we hopefully will be there. Knock on wood.
Are we going to accept that answer?
No, because I know that answer is nonsense. Because his wife is not due until like November.
No, I know.
This gala was in June.
Yeah, but
she's not in the third trimester in June.
Yeah, but we have
fly.
But she's pregnant, and we have another baby. We already have a little one still. So
so bring grandma.
And now you got jokes, man. Because now we've done that. We've done that before. That doesn't go over as much as you would think it would.
Shana, next year you're invited.
Okay, thank you.
You got you got a seat.
Yeah, you can be my plus two.
And then you could dress up because we gotta make sure he's looking right for that thing.
Yeah. I got jacket over the polo. You know how it goes.
But listen, I definitely want to start like a men's line for Grace in Black. So I'm glad you said that, Philippe. Like you were feeling that vibe when you were on the site. Like, okay.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I would love to introduce you to later on after the pod. We can talk about the men's side of fashion that may look good in Atlanta, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So the show.
I mean, I thought she was catering to the men's to the men with her in Atlanta with her.
Wow.
No, we're gonna edit that out. We'll edit that out.
Yeah, you definitely got to edit that out. I don't. Yeah. Jeez. Wow, Philippe coming in mad hot.
Listen, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Jeez. Woo. I was like, that was Philippe talking. Put that, that'll be in the bloopers at the front.
Look, we didn't. You're like Doug. Doug is like, we didn't practice that. We didn't practice that.
We can talk that one out.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Hold on one second. Since we're taking a minor break, I had my notes up, but they crashed on me, so I'm gonna pull them back up so I can ask you the heavy hitting hard questions. I was listening to Hannity on my way over here. And he made me feel doom and gloom about America, man.
Doom and gloom.
Yeah. I don't know if Sean Hannity from Fox News.
Listen, you have to be very mindful of the information that you take into your brain. From
Sean Hannity?
In general. You are better off going to Shani's website, seeing all that beauty. That will have a positive impact on your brain.
I've seen it. Shani's website is dangerous.
And actually, listen,
I can't watch it often.
Our brains respond to beauty.
Thank you. See, Doug?
Yeah, we do.
I'm not saying it doesn't. What I'm saying is that
beauty helps to relax us, to minimize the stress. That's why people buy art, right?
That makes sense.
Yeah, beauty helps to activate our motivation and reward systems. Like, it's important to be surrounded by beauty. The beauty of nature, the beauty of others, the beauty of art, whatever it is.
Right.
That is true.
Right?
Come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even being a cute baby has survival sort of protective impact. Cuter babies tend to not be abused as much.
Are you sure?
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know about that. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, you should look that up.
Look it up, Doug.
All right, Shani. So our show is about our ability to bring awareness to the fact that people's brains are kind of in charge, right? Or in control of how they're kind of doing things. And from what you do and what you saw, how did you see like the negative parts of how people's brains are in control and why you wanted to kind of help and jump into where you're jumping in right now with Grace and Black?
Sure. Well, for start, like when you look good, you feel good, right?
Yeah.
And so all of that plays a part in my mind of how your brain functions, how you think of yourself. So I'm big on speaking positive, affirming things over myself, but it's because I feel good about myself. And you have to think about, what are those things that make one feel good? Is it the way you dress? Is it your attitude? It could be a variety of things. But for me, I tend to feel my best on Sundays when I'm getting dressed. I feel good and I'm able to go out and be a light to other people. And that may come in the form of encouraging or inspiring or, affirming something over someone's life. So it really is, I know you all are the brain prophets, so you are more experts in this area. But to me, it does intertwine with everything. It intertwines with your thought process. The way you dress, that's the first approach sometimes what people see. Like, Philippe, you were saying earlier about beauty, how that's like a trigger. Well, how people see you and the clothes you dress can also play a fact. That's why we have things like business casual attire when you're going into an interview. So fashion it's up there. It means something. It definitely means something. It has value. So we have to take pride in the way we dress. And especially in the Black community, we often hear like, I don't look like what I've been through, right? So many people say that I don't look like what I've been through because we've managed like putting on clothes and dressing the part, even though our life could be going downhill. So, but it makes us feel good. It makes us feel good when we look a certain way. So when we're opening up a magazine where we're in the store, that's why they say shopping is retail therapy. So many things play a part when it comes to fashion and why I'm so passionate about fashion and about Grace and Black. So, yeah.
I 100% agree with you. And it's when I was seeing patients in the hospital all the time, right? I was always in a 3-piece suit. You know how most doctors, you see them, they're like in a white coat, especially in the hospital? Yeah. I was never in a white coat. Like I always came in my suits looking super professional, and patients responded to that on a completely different level. My
Yeah.
colleagues responded to that on a completely different level. One, they were always like, damn, dude, why are you always looking so good? It's midnight. Why are you looking like that? They're like, don't you have other clothes? Right. But it gave me more confidence. It made me feel the part even more. Right. Like I just felt like, okay, I'm running the show.
Yes.
Right. I got you. I'm gonna take very good care of you. And patients felt that.
Yes. Yes.
That's interesting.
Is it interesting? What's interesting about it, Doug?
About him wearing the 3-piece suit. I could see him. I could picture it in my mind, him doing that. You kind of rarely think about the people who, when you come to I guess when I go to the doctor, you see the doctor with the sneakers on nowadays sometimes, and the way that they kind of present themselves is almost like anybody else. It actually goes back to a joke that our current doctor kind of made about, who's going to deliver our kid. And he said, quote unquote, well, we just get somebody else, a homeless person off the street to come in and deliver kids, right? And then he walked out the room. So then imagine like 3 weeks later, 3 weeks later, we go back to the appointment and my wife says like, hey, so who's going to be delivering our baby? Because she remembered the last time he really didn't answer. He said some homeless person. And he goes, didn't I already tell you? He goes, yeah, you said some homeless guy off the street. And he starts laughing because then he remembers the joke that he left, but he didn't finish up who was going to deliver. So it was, but I think that taking him more serious would have happened, and he may have taken himself a little bit more serious if he was, dressed up in a suit, tie, something like that. But not to knock the casual look, because that's also comfortable too. And that's what people sometimes think, that it's easier to be comfortable than it is to be, the other way.
Right.
Although I don't think the suit is uncomfortable. I don't know. It just depends on the person.
I think to Shani's point too, you approach people very differently based on the way that they're dressed, right? So if I see a woman who is dressed in the clothes that she's putting out, right? Like if I'm out in shorts and a t-shirt, I'm like, oh no, I can't go talk to that woman. Like I need to be like, I need to go put on a suit to go talk to that woman, right?
You're wearing cargo shorts with a nice pocket.
I'm like, oh, it's and you look at that woman, you're like, oh, to take her out on a date, it's going to be a very nice place. Like it just ups the level of respect that you have, right, for that person, as opposed to when you see a lot of women, everything is out, everything is showing. It's like, oh, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, whatever.
Go hit so on if you're watching online right now on YouTube, you can see some of the clothes that they have at Grace in Black.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely a polished look, but like we're pretty much all stating here, like the way you dress sets the tone for the way people approach you. And the first thing that also came to my mind was, even in church settings, we're seeing more preachers in the pulpit dressed in a more relaxed look versus like the robes back in the day, because they're trying to meet people where they are. So fashion is a very powerful industry, a very lucrative one too.
Interestingly, as you jumped into the preachers and the way they're dressing, are you pro the new relaxed pastor, or are you like the older garb?
I'm pro the relaxed look, like the fresh kicks and stuff. And maybe I say that because that's what my pastor dresses like, and I'm okay with it. But the way I grew up was seeing preachers in like the full 3-piece, suit or whatnot. So, but I'm definitely pro the relaxed look, and it causes a shift throughout the church. Like it just changes the dynamics. You reach a younger crowd. People are more like, even the old mothers and missionaries, they are getting more relaxed.
Here's a question. But do you want your doctors in a super relaxed look, or do you want your doctors more in a more professional attire? Right? Because I feel like every industry kind of, your expectations shift, right? In tech, you're kind of like, whatever, they can be in hoodies all day long. Who cares? They're just in tech. Right. Yeah. But people who are taking care, I think, of you in the moment, whether it's your physical, mental, spiritual needs, it shifts a little bit, right? Yeah. Especially your financial needs. It just shifts what your expectations are.
Yes. Man, that's a good question, because I feel like I've seen some of my physicians come in with just like some tennis shoes on and some jeans or something. And I don't know if I actually felt a way about it. So I will have to make a mental note. Like, how do I feel when different?
You will have to. You will have to.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, all that matters is that they are taking care of you in the best way possible.
Right. Yeah. I mean, now, if you come in with like dirty shoes or something, because I will say when it comes to men and looking at their style, the first thing that I'm looking at is the shoes. I'm like, what are shoes like?
Damn, girl. I'm not even going to show you what shoes I got on going on with this.
You got them house Crocs on.
Man, thank God this is like a, chest up shot.
No, but that's like if you're out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're at home, chill, but
So Shani, you mentioned that you dabbled you did mention that you dabbled in the art world of acting, right? So you're an actress a little bit. You also sing. Tell us a little bit about the mindset it took for you to actually not just do the Grace and Black. And we're gonna jump back in second segment into the entrepreneurship world, but let's talk about the artistry that it takes to even be creative to create the clothes, but then also the artistry that it takes to be, to jump in that acting world where it's super vulnerable, and it takes a lot of work to be an actress. Like, remember the lines, all that type of stuff. Talk about that a little bit.
Sure. So, I'm an all-around creative, so I would love to touch on the music, because again, that was the starting point for me. I was very, very shy growing up, a mute to some people. I didn't talk much, but my outlet was music. So that was a very powerful tool for me. I think I was in high school, and the first time that my family actually heard me sing was, I might have been in like 10th and 11th grade. And that really kind of opened things up for me as far as like my social life. When I went off to college, I mean, it was the first week of school and I was up there doing open mics. So I've always loved the arts as it pertains to music and acting. Now, to break into the entertainment industry, you have to be so intentional. You have to be so intentional. And for me, my intentions were on like, okay, I have got to get out of my comfort zone. I have got to get into a place of being confident, and also get into a place where I was able to truly accept that I am a creative person. Not to get off topic, but a lot of creatives they struggle with accepting it, because for a long time, if you said you wanted to do music or you wanted to be in the entertainment industry or anything related, it was like, oh, that's far-fetched. That's something that will never happen. We see it now more because of the exposure of social media. We have the Gen Z like pushing the limits and things. But me being a 90s girl, it was like, I had to, when people asked me what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do when I got older, I knew it wanted to be music, something music related, something in the entertainment industry, something with fashion, but I would not go to that. That would not be the first thing that that would fly out of my mouth, because it was like, a creative person is seen as a person that's just all over the place. Like you're not realistic with your life goals. Like, do you get what I'm saying? In terms of that, like, I don't know if you ever felt that way, or if you knew people around you that felt that way, or maybe you were the ones who had those feelings about people who expressed that they wanted to serve in the arts, whether that was the entertainment. But that was a huge challenge for me. But once I accepted, like, being creative is a part of my calling. It is something that I'm supposed to do. It is something that comes natural to me. So it means that there's something that I need to do in the earth with this. And I like to inspire. I like to entertain. Doug knows from my social media, I'm silly. You'll get the dancing videos from me, but you'll also get like a serious, hey, this is Shani, wanted to give you some encouragement today. You'll get a random music video. Like, I'm just an all-around creative person. But I was able to, or I was on a show, American Soul, back in 2018. I filmed it, but it aired in 2019. And that was a great experience, but it also was a scary experience too, because it was on a larger scale. It was a show on BET. So I'm like, okay, this is a huge network, right? And I'm around phenomenal people. Like our choreographer her name is Fatima. She's done choreography for everyone. She did it for Aaliyah when she was living. She recently, the Super Bowl, like she was responsible for doing that whole choreography, like so much. And to be in the room with her was like, okay, this is mind blowing. But at the same time, I had to go in there and be like, okay, I'm equipped to do this. I can do this. Like I had to talk to my brains. It really is a brain thing. It's like, okay, I can be in this space. I can be in this space. I can pull up a seat at this table. I can be on this show. I can go record a song. So those are all the things I have to, may have to get in a corner and talk myself into it to keep going. But it really is a play on that imagination aspect of it, like daydreaming. I've always daydreamed of doing things like this. And that's really what a creative is at the end of the day.